When the cat's away, the mice will play. And the Spec collector is playing in this down market. Speculation is alive and well in the Spec collector house. It's just a book that I'm speculating on. My third video in a week. There might even be a fourth video before this week is over. But let's see what this book is. 23 books in this lot. There were 25, but as part of the deal that I made for most of these books, not all of them, but most of them, I bought these from my buddy Pete, who owns a comic book shop, a local comic book shop around where I live. And yeah, he got to pick one 9.8. He picked it already, and I gave him an extra. An 8.5. It was actually a book that it was going to be a loss for me anyway. I'll tell you guys what that is, and I'll tell you guys what the deal was. And yeah, in this down market, took advantage of it, and I went after a book that was selling for like $100 at one point, sometimes even more raw. And yeah, I'll tell you what it was. Okay, wanted to show you guys this before I showed you the books. These cardboard cutouts, I only had a total of 7 in 2 boxes in my last unboxing, which was a 50 book pre-screen unboxing, and I had 18 damages total. 4 cutouts in one box, 3 cutouts in another box. Terrible. This box alone has 7 cardboard cutouts, and in my opinion, the more cardboard cutouts you have, the less likely you are to get damages, in my opinion. And we'll test that theory out in here. All of these books, now these are 18 books. These are 18 books that are part of the lot that I bought from my buddy Pete. All of these were sent to CCS to get custom labels as well. I was going to send them to Mr. Kendra. However, you know, he was busy and he didn't text me until I had already sent them. And but anyway, the other thing was that these particular ones anyway, these 18 were sent. Actually, that one right there was also sent to CGC on a pre-screen by me, and I missed the pre-screen. So I sent this out so it can get pressed by CCS and graded. This one, I sent 2 of these out. X-Men Adventures, I thought they had shots at 9/8, but one of them came back as an 8.5. I only paid $15 for each of these, but the grading costs for these, because of the custom labels, are going to be, you know what, I'm not even going to do the calculations, because I'm going to tell you what they are. The calculations are going to be around 30, 40, 45 bucks. Around $45 per grade. For an 8.5, which was one of the books that I gave Pete, it's just, you know what, I just gave it to him because he liked the book and he liked the way that it looked with the custom label, and he didn't have an X-Men Adventures. He just wanted an 8.5. Well, he wanted one of them anyway, so I gave him the 8.5. It was going to be a loss for me regardless, so 45 and 15, that comes out to 60 bucks. So it's a $60 book technically for me. I just gave it to him because he gave me a good deal regardless. So and he always takes care of me, so I took care of him. 9.2, yeah, sometimes you feel that you know, a book is a certain type of grade, and yeah, CGC brings you back down to life and says, you're wrong, buddy, you're wrong, buddy, take that. Yeah, this is where they got me right there. Boom, boom, And then on the bottom here, boom. See that? It's just things that you miss. Yeah, 9.2. I'll be probably, you know what? Can I make my money back? I would have to sell this at $70 for me to get my money back after, like after the cost, the consignment cost. Yeah, this one on the other hand is definitely a winner, big time winner. Sands. I got this from Sands in one of his lots. Came back as a 9.8. Now, I missed the pre-screen 9.8. It did need a press. CCS pressed it. Got the 9.8. Love it. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 10. And this is the first Spider-Punk. Actually tells you here in the back now. They put it on the custom label. First appearance of Spider-Punk. I liked other Spider-Man labels better, but this one's okay. But I have liked different Spider labels better than that one. But yeah, that's a good book to spec on. I could technically sell that book now for a big time profit. These two I got off of that one sale that I was talking about. For a lot of the pre-screens, these needed presses for sure, though. When I inspected them, I didn't want to send these out for pre-screens. So they needed presses, and you know, boom, there it is, man. These are this one, the same one, Amazing Spider-Man number 10, but these are the 1 in 10 variants of that issue. First appearance of Spider-Punk. It's Ultimate Spider-Man Web Warriors variant cover. I always thought that was I think they call that an animation cover, I think. But yeah, that's what that's called. It's a 1 in 10. Good book. Go figure. I ended up getting 2 of those, and both of them got the 9.8s. It's a nice looking book. Definitely a nice looking book. Go figure that the 1 in 10 goes for about the same amount of price as the cover A, even though it's rarer, 10 times rarer than that. Go figure. First Spider-Punk. I don't intend on keeping these in my collection. At least not as of right now, right? But I also don't intend on selling them just yet. I don't think this is the time to sell just yet. If I sold them, they'd probably go for about $250. You know, these right here, I think I might have paid. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say $30. I have the receipt, but I'm going to say $30 each, probably $20 each. Ended up being a great spec, you know, because they're both 9.8s. This is just a cover that I loved. Got the 9.6. I knew this wasn't going to be a 9.8. I do like this emblem, this label much better, though. You know, even though I kind of like the old Wolverine label better than this one, but that one doesn't look bad. Definitely better than the Spider-Man custom label. I like that one better. And this is Story Continue for Wolverine Volume 3, number 72. Old Man Logan cover gallery. Okay, I just liked the cover. Look at this cover, man. It's a nice little cover. This is Giant Size Wolverine Old Man Logan number 1. Let me see if I can get it so that you guys could appreciate it. Appreciates it. Nice. Huh? Nice painted cover. Yeah. 9.6. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. More than likely, I'm going to sell it. More than likely. These are books that were fillers for me because I just had to fill it to a 25 book. And of course, yeah, it ended up being good. These fillers ended up being good for me because of the 398s. I think that one, even that one, would go for some nice money if I decide to sell it. Because Wolverine fans love Wolverine, great covers, and that is one freaking beautiful cover, right? All right. Speculation will never, ever die. And in a bad market, it's good to speculate on good stuff that you can get cheaper than what they used to go for, because eventually the prices will start climbing on these as well. Let's see. First good news that I have for you guys is that I have no damages. So those 7 cardboard cutouts absolutely, in my opinion, made a difference. I think they should put at least 8 cutouts though. Maybe if they can slip like 9 or 10 cutouts, that'd be even better. But you know, 7 made a big difference instead of putting 3 or 4 cutouts in there and having a ton of damages. No damages this time around. When you inspect your CGC slab, be very wary, because when you hold it against the light, there's a scuff right here that's going to look like a break, but it's not. That's actually where the rivet is. Now before, on the damages that I had, you would see a crack right by the rivet. That's where the slab, in my opinion, is weaker at. I think that's where the final seal is made, and that's why you get that right there. And sometimes you'll get it around where the seals are, but that's usually where you're gonna have you know, some discolorment. But that's just don't confuse that for a crack. None of these were cracked. Beautiful, right? Now you guys know which book that I spec'd on. It's the Ultimate Fallout second print. I spec'd on 4 Pacellis, and I spec'd on, actually it was 15 regular second prints. But under this deal, Pete got 1 9.8. Now, what he did was he sent in 25 books as a pre-screen, 9.8, and he only got 6 9.8s out of that 25. These are the remnants, the ones that didn't get the 9.8s. So I had told him, look, just send them in, send them back to CCS, and let them press them and do a pre-screen. Instead, what I did, however, was I sent them, had them pressed, and do just the regular grading on them. You know, I figured I checked them over, and they all looked great, you know, but the results that I got were still good regardless. Under the deal that I made with him, if I got 15 9.8s all together, he would get 2 9.8s. If I only got 1 9.8, he would get 1 9.8. So that there was a gamble for me, you know. Of course, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think that I was going to get, you know, a number of 9.8s. I got less than what I thought I was going to get. But I ended up getting actually it was 7 9.8s of the regular second print, and only 1 9.8 of the Pacelli out of the 4. I got 3 9.6s of the Pacellis, 1 9.8. See that? What I do like about these is the miles label. I like this miles label a lot better than the old miles label. This one actually has that in the back. It's like, see that? It's nice. I am Spider-Man. I like this label better than the older miles label. It's a cooler label. you know. Nice. This 9.8 goes for less than this 9.8. As of right now, you can probably get this one for around $250. You can probably get this one for around $300. Now this is the, you know, the custom label, so you could probably get this for maybe $325, $350. I could be very ambitious and ask for $350, and I'm sure that I would get it. However, I am in no hurry to sell these in this market because I know there's a lot of miles yet to come. I mean, in the summertime is when we're gonna get the Edge of Spider-Verse movie, and then there's a lot of rumors, and rumors are just that, they're just rumors, but there's a lot of talk about Miles being in the next Spider-Man movie. I don't know if that's a definite, but if that happens, look, the second print will never cost more than the first print. It just never will, right? But the first print, it's almost 4,200 9.8s on that first print. There's almost half of those. There's around 2,300 of the regular second print 9.8s. So almost half of the regular second prints. Now that doesn't mean that this is going to overtake it. It won't. But there are less. Now 2,000, 2,300, it's no joke, okay? It's probably going to be 3,000 by the time everything's done and over. What I don't understand is why this one has less than half of these. There's only about 1,100 and change of these in a 9.8 of the Pacellis, which is, I mean, it's almost like 25% of that. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, of the first prints. It's 25% of the first prints. Why is this much less? And is the market gonna change? I mean, it's still pretty much a new book. It's less than 15 years old, right? It's around 10 years. What is it? 12 years old, right? So either way, if I have a keeper out of all of these, it'll be the Pacelli. If I have a keeper, maybe I can keep a set, but I'm really not sure if I'm gonna be keeping any of these. Matter of fact, I don't know if I'm gonna be keeping any of the entire 23 books that you've seen. Here was the money deal, right? $1,220 for 22 books. But it's actually 20 books because he gets to keep 2 for sure. He got to keep a 9.8. He chose a regular second print 9.8. And he's going to get to pick the highest grade of the last 3 books that I haven't sent in, which is Ghost Rider #1, Robbie Reyes' first appearance in a first print. I'm hoping I get at least 2 of those in 9.8 because he's going to have the highest grade per the deal. So if you really count, I'm not even going to count the Ghost Riders in the deal. I'm just going to count the 18 that I have here as the deal, and then those Ghost Riders, I'm just going to say those are going to be a wash, let's say, right? Obviously, if I get the 9.8s, I'll be happy. If I get 2 9.8s out of that, I'll be happy because that'll be gravy. But if you count these in at $45 for the grading and slabbing and the special slabs or whatever, the special labeling, it comes out to around $68, a little bit more than $68 a book, for Well, you know what? Minus the slabbing. I'm sorry. Minus the slabbing. $68 a book plus $45 for the slabbing comes out to about $113, maybe $114 a book. That's what I'm in on these. So if I were to sell them right now, these would be a wash because of the consignment fee after the sell. If I were to sell them right now, these I would just barely wet my beak because they would probably go for about $150, I would say, for a 9.6 with the custom label, maybe $150, $160. So I mean, just barely make a profit on these, right? And I have 3 9.6s, but at least it's still not a loss, right? Believe it or not, that 9.4 goes almost about the same as a 9.6. So technically people still want them, you know? They just want to have them in their collection anyway. I have 7 9.6s of the regular second print. I have 6 9.8s, however, and this is where the deal is good, right? I was expecting more. I was expecting at least 10, but I ended up getting 6 of these. Actually, it was 7, but because he kept the 7th one, it's 6 for me. And then only 1 of the Bocelli, and again, this one goes for less than that, but it goes for around $250. The Spec is built on time on this one, and time for Miles to build back up again, and I think it will. This book was an $800 9.8 at one point. I don't need it to be $800 anymore, right? I don't. But if this can go up to, say, a $500 or even a $600 9.8, which, by the way, I think it's very, very achievable in the short term. Short term, maybe the next, 2 or 3 years, then this will be very profitable for me if I can wait to the 600, not even the 800 mark, to the 600 mark. This could be I would say probably about a 400, maybe even a 500. Technically, it should, in my opinion, be more than that one, but it's not. And I don't know if the community is going to make it so. But this one should, in my opinion, be worth more than that one is. But let's say if this can get to a $400 level, that's still good, because then that one would probably go to a $200 level, and then these will go back to being maybe $300 books like they were in a 9.6. Even $200 books would be a significant gain, altogether for me. But even if I were to sell all of these now, I would still make a pretty decent profit. Not a great profit, but a decent one. And then when the ghostwriters come in, if they come in good grades, then that's, that's just icing on the cake. That's Spec. That's the Spec play, guys. So, yeah. When the cat's away, and who is the cat? The buyers, the speculators. The speculators, look, I got these back in about a month after, no, it wasn't a month. It was probably 2 months after pressing and grading from CGC. And why? It's because people aren't really specking that much right now, because they're taking hits, man. They're taking hits, especially on moderns, That's why the turnarounds, I told you guys I thought that the turnarounds were going to drop, and they dropped. They had to, because, look at 9.8s in modern. Some of them are going for, fractions of what the slabbing costs. So why would you want to even slab if you're not even going to get what what the slab is going to cost you, forget about the book. That's why this book is not costing that much right now. So it's imperative that when you buy this book, that it's in near mint condition, and that it's a candidate if you're going to pay, $60-$70 for it. So anyway, that's the spec for today. Have a good night, everybody. Later.